first thing, before we talk about what we're doing, preface, as Rabbi Moss would say, 4 bookkeeping issues. Okay, one is in terms of the plan for this year. Second is in terms of the procedure. Third is in terms of methodology, and fourth is in terms of a Tefilah bonus point. Okay, so first thing is in terms of the shiur. So obviously, I used to give shiur 3 nights a week, and 2 of those would be Tehilim, and one of those was Chumash exploration, right? So now that I'm only doing 1 shiur, I'm defaulting to Tehilim and Tefilah, but I feel like I'm going to be like, doing whatever I'm interested in. Okay, so if everyone's okay with that, that's fine. Also, I take requests. So like, that doesn't mean I'm going to like obey, but I'm open to requests. Most of my like exploration stuff I'll be doing for my Friday women shiur, but we're gonna, the slot is like just shiur. Okay, all right, that's one. Second point is because we used to do this 2 days a week and now we're doing it 1. So I had a question. We used to do a procedure where we would like spend the first time and we would translate everything together, read and translate, and then start working on it and then get into mafarshim, right? So I thought about like omitting that whole step and then just coming with a translation. But then I realized that there are at least 2, if not 3 benefits of the translating it together. One is that it forces you to reckon with the fact that you might be saying this twice a day and not knowing what you're saying. And I feel like if I just do the translation, it doesn't really register as much. Secondly, there's this thing called a close reading, which is like slow, deliberate reading. And I feel like there is benefit in that. And the only way to do slow reading is to read slow, So like, I feel like there's benefit there. Third thing is that there are a lot of ambiguities in, or like translation decision trees, that I feel like it's more organic if we translate it and then talk about those as we reach them, instead of me just reading off a pre-made English translation and then noting stuff. Mm-hmm. So unless there are objections, even though it's going to take us, twice as long, I would like to continue doing it like we did last year, and like translate together and so if anyone doesn't like that, then they can skip that session and then, and then come back. And then again, we'll obviously some program are longer than others, but yeah. Okay. Third thing is a methodology mistake that I slid into last year. Okay. So we have in our methodology, we're using the 4 questions from Adler. Hey, Isaiah. I think I need this. I wasn't sure how many people were coming, and this is my last copy. So I think I need this because I highlighted it. Okay. All right. So good. So we have been doing the 4 questions from Adler. What is the perek saying as a whole? What is it saying in detail and how? Is it true in whole or in part? And then what of it? So what? And in my methodology for Tehilim, I advise going question 1, question 4, question 2, then question 3. Okay. In other words, get the main idea, get the point of it. Okay. Then go into detail. And if you'll notice, when we started off last year, we were doing that consistently. And then at some point, maybe around Ashrei, we got bogged down in doing every single word and every single pasuk. And that's why Ashrei was a 13-parter instead of a 3-parter. So I want to try to like get us swing the pendulum back in the other direction of like focusing, keeping our eye on the big picture. It doesn't mean that we're going to like ignore minor questions or like reading individual positions, but I want to keep our eye on the big picture. Also, this means I don't want to do every radak or every meiri. I mean, I'm going to do that on my own time, or that's my plan, but we're not going to do that together. So we will try to keep it more like, I want to aim for like 2-parters, maybe 3-parters, not 13-parters anymore. Okay. Even though after was really important. Okay. And then the 4th and final point is, I want to thank Hashem, okay, for this particular shiur. Now, for all shiurim also, but I was thanking Hashem in my mind as I came here, because what happened basically was I was working on this by myself, then I worked on it with Ken last night. We got 0, okay, and then when I got home from yeshiva today in the afternoon, I was like, I might not have a shiur, But the thing is that I don't know how often you do this, and this is the Tefilah bonus point. Like, how often are you mispalel for specific assistance on specific questions? Yeah. Okay. You should do that. Okay. Like that's what bakashas are for. And the fact that I put a bakasha in my atachonein is very long. Let me assure you. Okay. Like not just about ideas. It's about anything that has to do with learning. And that's what Tefilah is for. And like, what happened was I was like, I was like, thank God in the colloquial, thank God I have an extra hour than I did last year. Cause like, instead of giving shiur at 7, I'm giving shiur at 8. So I sat down and then one thing just opened up the entire perek. It was literally like one word. Okay. Wow. And then everything came together. And it's like when you are recognizing through Tefilah that you can't control insight, and there's a lot of unconscious processes. There's a lot of like chance occurrences and stuff. And you should turn to Hashem for that. And you actually have to enact that. You can't just like know it. You have to actually enact it in Tefilah. That will actually like yield better results. So I highly encourage you to ask Hashem for things. Okay, that's the takeaway from this year's Tefilah. Okay. So any questions on any of that before we get started? Yeah. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to bias you. Okay, I will. Yeah. If things time-wise go right, then maybe we'll get to that as the last point of today, so it could be like percolating. Okay. Yeah. We'll see how long our own like musings take us. Okay. So the request was made by Chaim Zifkin to do perek Chav Zayin, because we say this. The minhag is to say it twice a day between Elul and Shemini Atzeres, right? Okay. So I don't know how well the translation. I feel like also, is it just me or do Chazanim rush it?
They do.
They do, right?
I got halfway through.
I can't believe I also only get halfway through.
They wrote
Yeah.
after Shemini.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this will give you something to this will familiarize you. Maybe it'll go faster also. Okay, so we're going to translate and take as much time as we need, and then and as we go, like let's as we go, I guess if you do have questions, we'll jot them down, but then we'll do what we usually do, which is step back, take note of first impressions, initial questions, patterns, and then we'll do our method. Okay, so LeDavid, of David, for David. I'm not going to get into that whole question right now. Okay, Hashem Ori V'ishi.
God is my light.
Hashem is my light and my salvation. Okay, Mimi Ira.
From who will I fear?
Yeah, who will I fear? Yeah, from whom. I think that sounds weird in English though. That's the literal one. Who will I fear? Okay, Hashem Ma'oz Chayai.
Hashem is the stronghold of my life.
Ooh, look at you. Okay, is the stronghold of my life. Yeah. Now, ma'oz can either mean stronghold or strength. Okay, so let's just put that there. Stronghold. I like stronghold better. Okay, of my life. Mimi Efchad. Yeah, who will I fear? And let's just switch it up so we don't be afraid. How about that? Okay, yeah, just so we don't say the same word twice. Okay. Bikrov alai mereim le'echol es besari.
When you come close to me.
Yeah, what are mereim? They're not shepherds. Yeah. Yeah. When evildoers approach me, okay, to eat my flesh. Yeah, I'm picturing either zombies or cannibals, but this is obviously figurative. Okay. Sarai the oivai li. This is a weird phrase. Sarai, what is it? Tsar v'oyev.
English, sure.
Yeah, I feel like our scroll often translates as tormentor. Okay, yeah, my tormentor or antagonist maybe. But Tsar I think is tormentor. The oivai li. Yeah, so plain shot is my enemies, but that doesn't really capture the oivai and the li. What?
I said the wolves to me.
The wolves to me. Yeah, not oi. Oyev. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's another reason why I think it pays to go through this is, and this is something I've been working on slowly, right? You don't even know what I'm gonna say. I'm just, right. This is something I've been working on because I'm assuming you've read what I've written about this, but I can't assume that. I grew up hating poetry because I had bad poetry teachers, and I've been trying to appreciate poetic things more. And I feel like, the more we slow read it, then the more we can like appreciate that. So like, not that this is that, but oivai li, yeah.
Is it like those who fight against me?
Okay, well, let's break down. Oyev means enemy. Oivai, enemies, and oivai li. Okay, and those who are enemies to me, I think, is probably like the most accurate way to say it, even though it's weird. Okay.
Sorry,
Yes, thank you. Tormentors and those who are enemies to me. Hema kashlu v'nafalu.
They
So-
trip and fall.
Yeah, they stumble. I'm going to say stumble and fall, even though trip is okay. Yeah, right. That's what zombies do, right? They trip and fall. Okay. Im. Oh, you know what? Ironically, that might be zombies might be connected to the main idea. Okay, remind me of that if we deploy the main idea today. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Im tachane alai machane.
If
You encamp
They
against
Yeah. So I think this is. Oh, you know what? Can someone spot me with the someone who doesn't mind like seeing the English? If I ask for anyone want the altar? Yeah. Okay. Pasuk 3. Yeah. How does it translate that first part? If they.
he says though.
Oh, though they.
Though
A. Okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna say if because I don't like though. Yeah. If.
a camp
Yeah.
is marshaled.
Is marshaled against me. Okay.
Yeah.
Against me. Yeah. So literally, if a camp camps against me. Okay. Yeah, Ken and I had a brief theory that if a camp, because Allah is on top of me, so we thought maybe the earth is talking, but then no, things like a camp of enemies like coming against me. Lo yira libi,
My heart will not fail.
my heart will not fear.
I promise I didn't.
That's fine. Yeah. Im takum alai milchama, bezos ani boteach.
If war will arise against me,
Yeah, if war will arise against me,
this I will
Trust.
in this I trust. Yeah. So this is a common mistake just because, and since you made it, I'm gonna talk about it for a second. So I feel like people mix up emuna and bitachon because in frum speak, then they're interchangeable, right? Right. Like I think a lot of people say like emuna is trust in God or bitachon is belief in God. But when you look at, let's say like from a like mitzvahs anochi is to have emuna, itikad, conviction based on knowledge. So emuna is a type of I mean, it's a feeling, but it's a feeling that relates to knowledge. It's conviction. Okay. Emuna is conviction. Bitachon is security or trust. Okay. So and that's Tanakh usage. I'm not saying that that's just Rambam. Okay. That's the not from way. Yeah. That's the David from way. Yeah. Yeah. We have a word for David from. We call it tzaddik. Or chassid, yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. Achas sha'alti me'ez Hashem osa avakesh. I was just gonna scroll down to Yoshua Bass and say, I bet you had a childhood song about that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, there you go. All right. So achas sha'alti, it's a good pasuk. Achas sha'alti me'ez Hashem.
One thing from Hashem.
Yeah, one thing I asked. I guess strictly speaking, I have asked, right? But I think it could be present tense also. Oh, here's my grammatical sense here in Tehilim is you could play fast and not fast and furious. You could play fast and loose with the tenses. Okay. So Ken has been constantly getting more and more advanced in dikduk. So whenever I like do something in a tense way, like in terms of talk about tenses, he busts out these like dikduk terms like, oh, that's like imperfect justive or whatever. And I don't know what it is. So like, if anyone knows dikduk more than I do, then feel free to like jump in and say stuff. I just have a really good dikduk intuition for like how to translate, not dikduk intuition, translation intuition, but it's not based on knowledge. Okay. Achash altimei Hashem. One thing I have asked from Hashem, osah avakesh. Yeah, that I have requested. Okay, colon. What?
I have requested.
What happened?
It's just the I.
Oh, I have requested. Okay. Shivti b'veis Hashem kol yemei chayai.
That I shall sit in the house of God all the days of my life.
That I shall sit in the house of Hashem.
Oh,
Yeah, all the days of my life. Let's not pull a living Nach translation mistake. That's my pet peeve in the living Nach. Living Nach is a great English translation, but for some reason, I think it's living Nach, but for some reason, maybe it's not living Nach. Some English translations would just translate Yud-Kei Vav-Kei as God, when we have other words for God, and Yud-Kei Vav-Kei is like a separate idea, Yeah.
It should be technically past tense also.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that I sit. See, I think what Ken would say. This is my imagination. Ken, everyone has a little cannon on their shoulder that whispers dikduk, that it is
We're just like everybody else.
that it is imperfect, which means it can either be past tense or ongoing.
Mhm.
I think that's what he explained to me imperfect means. He said perfect means it's done.
Mhm.
So, but again, this is just, I
That
don't know
makes
what I'm
sense,
talking
though,
about.
because
Which
as
word
the
are you guys
past
talking about?
It would have already happened.
Well, I guess it kind of hinges on whether you're saying I have requested it or I request. How does alter? Actually, let's finish the pasuk on our own, and then we'll see how alter does it. Lachazos benom adoshem. Lachazos, Jose. Say it again.
To see.
To see. Yeah, I'm gonna say to gaze upon. Okay. Because Jose is like a seer, right? Like it's a strong. It's not just like to like liros, right?
No, it's a good vision.
Yeah, yeah, benoam Hashem,
Pleasantness.
the pleasantness of Hashem, ulevakir behechalal. This is a hard one.
And to
And to
see
request and-
after his Tehilim.
Okay,
Sanctuary.
Oh, wow.
yeah, bikor, right? So what do you say to seek after?
Yeah.
Okay, beak to seek after his sanctuary. Okay, so this is a little bit disputed. First of all, how does alter do this? This one,
The whole pasuk.
yeah, the whole pasuk.
One thing do I ask of the Lord, it is this that I seek, that I dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the Lord's sweetness and to gaze on his palace.
On his to gaze on his palace. So he also takes levak here to be to gaze. Okay, yeah. So I had a realization over the summer, which is that so there's bikur cholim. Okay, so bakar for that. Then there's bakar like cattle, and then there's boker morning, right? So I had this realization that boker and levaker both mean to inspect or to check, because boker is when you can first inspect stuff, because it's light, and to check up on the sick. Cows, I have no idea. So that's the vexing question that I haven't answered yet. So there are mafarshim like Rashi. If you want to look at Rashi on pasuk Daled. I did not open up my hold on. Tehilim 27 TC.
Cows are very suspicious animals.
I was thinking like some weird thing like you check on your cows, but
I was kind of thinking like you check your cows for movement or something. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm thinking like shepherd related activity, although that's sheep. Right?
Yeah, right. Right.
Cowherd. Actually called a cowherd, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cowboy also is the American version, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think
Cowherd. Okay, yeah. So Rashi says Ulavaka b'hechalo. So he quotes Donash, Ibn Donash, which was one of the grammarians. No, sorry. This is not Ibn Donash. This is Donash. Okay, maybe this is different. I don't know who Donash is. So he says le raos sham b'chol boker uboker, to appear there each and every morning. So levaker is to like show up every morning. Okay, as a verb. So that's kind of cute. But yeah. Okay, but I think the main plain shot is to seek after or to like investigate. What did the altar say for to gaze upon? Okay, yeah.
And to gaze on his palace.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see what it means later. Okay, fine. Ki yitzpaneni bisuko. This is a hard pasuk. Ki yitzpaneni bisuko biom ra'a yastireni beseser ohalo bitsur yuromameni.
Is that like Safun?
Safun, yeah, like
Like
to hide. Yeah. Okay. For he hides. Oh, so this is he will hide me in Besuko,
in his
Shelter.
his shelter. Yeah, right, like sukkah. It's spelled weird. Biom ra'ah.
on the bed on the
Yeah.
bed
On, I got to look at the. Hold on, I got to look at
there.
the time in.
Video, not body.
Ooh.
Is it upside down? It's not.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta see it with my I gotta be lachazos. Okay. Ki yitzpini besuko biom ra'a. Okay, I have no idea what this. I have no. Wait. Let's. Do we got the guy? Let's hear the guy. Hold on. This might not play with the thing plugged in though. No, we got to figure out how to do that. All right, fine. All right, whatever. That might be a thing. Okay. For he will hide me in his shelter on the day of evil, right? Or day of harm. I think it fits better. I'll ask for the altar later, but no, sorry. I think it makes it right. He will hide me in his shelter. Biyom ra'a yastireni, right? That makes more sense. on the day of.
Just you're in a position. Oh, no.
Yeah, see that.
Oh, okay. Why don't you read the altar?
I should.
Yeah.
For he hides me in his shelter on the day of evil. He conceals me in what you want me to do the rest of the
Yeah.
Okay, he conceals me in the recess of his tent. On a rock he raises me up.
His tent
Some
on a
imagery.
rock. Yeah. He raises. It's contradictory imagery, though, right?
Yeah. Like you're being hidden, but you're also being raised.
Yeah, like a rock on top of rock seems to be a very prominent place.
But it also can protect you. Like a high place.
Yes, they're all protecting. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Is there contradiction? Because I don't know.
Vi'ata Yarum Roshi al Oivai Savivosai.
And now.
And now
You're empty. No.
Yarum.
Lift me up.
Yeah. He will raise up my head al Oivai Savivosai.
On my surrounding, upon my surrounding enemies.
Yeah, I think over probably because he's raising it over my surrounding brackets zombie enemies. The Ezbecha, the Ezbecha ve'ohalo zivche trua.
No, with sacrifice in his tent, sacrifices of Trua,
Yeah. So how would you translate trua?
French.
crying out.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I gotta say. Okay, I got it. Just because see, usually I don't quote Ken this much because usually we learn on Sundays, but we learned last night. Ken is the most articulate person I've ever met, and the proof of it is when he was translating this, he said "Zivke Trua," offerings of toot. And I said, first of all, Ken, the tekiah is the toot, the trua is a cry. Okay, right. And then trua is either a joyous cry or a sad cry, right? So I'll sacrifice amid joyous, and you're correct, also it could mean friendship, okay, but joyous cries. And the reason why I'm saying joyous cries is because then it says Ashira va'azamra l'Hashem. I will sing and make music to Hashem. Yeah.
And musify.
No. All right. Shema Hashem kol. Okay, this is also a difficult one. Shema Hashem koli ekra v'chaneni va'aneni. So most mafarshim say that there's a word missing here. Okay, I'm gonna actually let's just skip. If you look at the Ibn Ezra, you don't have to look along, but if you look at the Ibn Ezra, what pasuk is this?
7.
Zion. Okay, so Ibn Ezra, that's Resh Aleph Ayin. Hold on here. This is taking a little bit longer than a zombie. Okay. Ibn Ezra says, yeah, Shema, texts are milas asher. It's missing the word asher. Okay. So I think Alter does a good job. Can you read what Alter says for this one? 7.
What did that start with again?
Shema.
Okay. Hear, O Lord, my voice when I call and grant.
Yeah.
grace
So
and
hear Hashem, my voice. So he says when
Yeah.
I call, right? Because if you don't have when, then it just becomes hear Hashem, my voice I call. Like it just doesn't. It feels like there's something missing. But then Ibn Ezra, yeah, it is poetic. Ibn Ezra has another like cool interpretation. Otamo, or the meaning is, and Ibn Ezra methodology here. Ta'am in Ibn Ezra lingo does not mean reason. It means definition or meaning. Okay, so Otamo, or the yeah, or the meaning is Zeh Hashem HaNichbad She'ani Kore Umastir. This is the revered name that I call and proclaim. So how's that? How's he reading it? See if you can get it. How's he reading? Shema Hashem Koli Ekra.
Hashem Ori.
Yes, listen. I call Hashem. I call the name of Hashem. Okay, right. So, but whatever. I think hear Hashem, my voice. When I hear my voice when I call is more pshat. V'chaneni v'aneni.
He will grace me and answer.
Yeah. So here again we have again you could say that this is a future tense will, or it could be a request, or like a tzivoy request. Be gracious to me and answer me. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and say because like this is what he's asking. Be gracious unto me and answer me. Okay. 8. We're halfway through. L'cha amar libi. This is also a confusing thing with pronouns and what to capitalize and what not to capitalize. Lacha, to you, Amar Libi,
My heart said,
my heart, I'm going to do everything lowercase for a second, said, Bakshu Fanai,
seek out my face.
seek out my face. Okay. Es panecha Hashem avakesh.
Your face, Hashem.
Your face. Yeah, that one's definitely capital. Your face, Hashem, I seek. Okay. So the question is in the first half of that, what is the you Hashem? Is he talking to his heart?
So,
Himself. And then seek out my face, like he's telling Hashem to seek out his face. He's telling his heart to seek out his face. Like, it's weird, right?
Can I be Hashem's face somehow?
Can say it again? Can
Can I also be Hashem's?
yeah, Bakshu Fanai, seek out my, yeah, that could be, it could be Hashem's face. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just preserve the ambiguity. Okay. So it's either you or you and then my and my. Okay.
The target does not care.
Oh, I totally forgot to look at the Targum. I looked at all the other Mefarshim except for the Targum. Okay. You know what we can do? I forgot we have the English Targum on Al Torah now. So we can read through that afterwards to see if we get anything. Okay. Al Taster
Can I ask a question
Panachamimeni.
about this translation?
Okay. More face talk. Yeah.
Hide your face from me.
Yeah. Do not hide. This is definitely Hashem's face. Your face from me. Al tat be'af avdecha. This is a hard one. Tat is a past tense of tut. No. Yeah. Do not. You say falter?
yeah.
Okay, that's probably a good translation. I think I saw that it's from like tate, like don't deviate or don't cause to deviate. I'll call you in a second tomorrow. Do not turn
Yes,
away the off, that's Targum,
Yeah.
in wrath your servant. Ezrasi Hayisa,
You are my help.
Hayisa.
Oh,
Yeah,
were.
you were my help. Al titasheni the al ta'azveni elokei yishi. Do not forsake me, ve'al ta'azveni, and do not abandon me, elokei yishi,
God is my salvation.
God of my salvation. Yeah, Tamar.
Is my voice coming through? I'm not sure.
Hold on. I feel like the volume might be all the way down because this is not
Okay.
my Zoom account. No, volume is not down. You're not muted. Is there something
Yeah.
wrong with your connection?
One second, let me try something.
My computer volume is all the way
I
up.
hear her. I don't know if you hear me. I
Am
hear
I
her
still not audible?
loud and clear.
Unless there's something wrong with something else. You should have just unmuted to try to talk. Oh, he is.
Can you not hear me?
I also I hear her.
Okay.
Something screwy. Yeah, but usually it just comes through my computer. All right. Let me just see where the sound is. Speaker. What happens if I do this? Try talking again. Hello.
Wait, is that audible?
Yeah. No, okay. That's good. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
This is actually about the Libby stuff.
Yeah.
There's just another reading that you mentioned but didn't write. I just wanted to make sure I understood. Could it be L'cha Amar? I'm talking to you, Libby, like addressing Libby.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. He could be talking to himself. Okay. And remind me of that when we get to the last puzzle if I forget. Okay. We're on 9. No, we're on 10, right?
Yes.
Ooh, almost at the end. Okay. 10. Ki avi v'imi azavuni v'Hashem yasfeni.
For my father and my mother have forsaken me.
Yeah, for my father and my mother have forsaken me. V'Hashem yasfeni.
And God will gather me.
And Hashem will gather me in. Yeah. Okay. 11. Horini ad Hashem darkecha. Horini, like, yeah, instruct me. Instruct me. Is this another song?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. There's at least 3 songs.
Hashem. Okay. Sorry. No, you know what? I'm going to say teach me because there's an object, your path. So teach
At least 3.
me, Hashem, your path. Unecheni b'orach mishor.
God is my salvation.
Yeah, guide me on a. So I think mishor is level,
Right.
like a equal. Yeah, on a level path. Lama'an shorarai.
The sake of those who praise me.
So shorai is another word that is. Oh, actually, could you read Altar's commentary on shorarai?
What are we on again?
It doesn't have to do with shore. It has to do with shiur, but no one knows what that means really.
Well, 11, right?
11, yeah.
Okay. 11, my adversaries.
Adversaries, okay.
This term for enemy, shorim, sometimes shorim, appears half a dozen times in Psalms and nowhere else in the biblical corpus. It may be derived from a verbal root that means to watch, as enemies gleefully watch one's humiliation.
Yeah.
It certainly plays on a more common word for foes, sorim, or as in the next verse here, sarim.
Okay, so enemies would gleefully watch. Okay, so that's like the connotation, I guess. Okay, 12 is al titaneni benefesh sarai. So literally, al titaneni benefesh sarai means
Don't give me by the soul.
don't give me over. Okay. Oh, by the soul. That's interesting. Bin nefesh. Oh, al titaneni benefesh. Hold on. We have to look at the. Is nefesh connected to tzorai?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Al titaneni. Yeah, benefesh tzorai. Oh, wait. Sarai. Wait. Yeah, sorry. I misread it. Benefesh sarai. So I think the tzarai has to be the nefesh of the tzarai, right?
The will.
Okay, yeah. So plain shot would be soul, right? To the soul, i.e., the will. So all the Mefarshim, I think, say it's the ratzon, okay, of my tormentors. Ki kamuvi ede sheker v'feah Hamas.
Where they stand up against me.
Yeah. So when or for, I guess. Yeah, ede sheker, when false witnesses rise up against me. V'feah Hamas.
and sprout.
Who breathe. Yeah, sprout like breathe, right? Not sprout like growth, right? Who spout is the word.
Spout.
Yeah, spout. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, who breathe violence.
Could you say
Violence.
kikamu be ede sheker is not saying that they are ede sheker, I mean, not saying that they are ede sheker, but saying that those who are coming against me are ede sheker? More of a definition than a description.
Run the two by me again.
So you could either say, like, I think we said, can you scroll down a little bit? Yeah, so we said when or so for, oh. Okay, for, okay, right, you could either say that they are false witnesses or say that these are witnesses and they are false. It's just something seems different to me in those two.
Okay, I don't quite see.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just missing.
I think in one way he's saying that when false witnesses come to me, don't give me over. Or you could say when witnesses come to me, they are false and therefore don't give me over.
I think ede sheker is like false witnesses.
I was saying it's more like kikamu be ede sheker, that the ede, the ones who, okay.
Yeah. Okay, 13. Lule, which I always have a hard time.
That's another song.
Okay, Lule Hemati Liros B'tuv Hashem Be'eretz Chaim. We know this one the most because this is what the Chazan says when we're halfway through. Yeah. Yeah. If not for the fact that He'emanti,
I
believed. Okay, good. No one. Okay, that I believed. Yeah, to see the good of Hashem. Believed to see the goodness of Hashem in the land of life or the living. Yeah. Now this is an ellipsis pasuk. Okay, like ... This is a biblical Hebrew thing where it will like imesh kachech Yerushalayim. No, that we do answer that. Tishkach Yemini. Wait, what pasuk am I thinking of? Isn't there a famous Oh, imlo ale es Yerushalayim al rosh simchasi ... Right. It doesn't finish it because it's like too horrible to contemplate, or like it is it follows, and that's what he's saying. If not for the fact that I believe to see the goodness of Hashem in the land of living, and he doesn't want to complete the sentence because like that would be bad. Like that's like a style in biblical Hebrew. Ken has said that there's a term for it called like it's a telescope phrase, like the kind of the telescopes that you like extend, like so you just see the little part of it and like you have to extend it mentally. I don't know where that phrase comes from. Okay, kaveh el Hashem. Kaveh el Hashem. Hope to Hashem. Chazak v'ya'ametz libecha. Strengthen and let's say embolden. I might have gotten that from Alter. No.
Well, he says the end bold, yeah.
Okay. Your heart. V'kaveh el Hashem. And hope to Hashem. And going back to what Tamara mentioned with the In which one was the hard one? In 8, he was either talking to Hashem or talking to his heart. Here, either he's talking to his heart, or who else would he be talking to, do you think? Yeah, us, right? The reader, Bnei Israel, whoever, yeah, whoever's listening. Okay, what a perek. Okay, so first impressions, major questions, minor questions, observations. Yeah. Levakir.
That's the word.
That is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I figured, but no, a question. A lot of it seems to be.
Oh, you mean like you're asking me about what we're doing now, Levakir, or are you making a meta joke, or you're
No,
asking?
no,
Okay.
You're saying what was the word?
Oh, that was the word. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were saying like we were about to leave Mavakir the perek, but
Oh, no.
that would also be a not a funny joke, but we'd all laugh because like we get it. Yeah.
No, it seems to focus a lot on adversaries of the right.
Yeah.
Enemies. I mean, I know like David Melt obviously had a lot of enemies.
Yes. A lot of emphasis on the adversaries and the people doing war, and I feel like we've seen false witnesses a lot with in the program we did last year. You know, like that's a big threat also. People conspiring against him, like plotting stuff by spreading falsehood. Yeah, okay, good observation. Yeah, Isaiah.
The theme of like abandonment or hoping not for abandonment.
Yes, yes. So especially in what's the EV of EV when 10,
Yeah,
right?
so that
Well, 9 and 10, right? So abandonment. Good. Yes.
It also seems like it's a major thing, this request he's making.
Yeah. Yeah. The pasuk 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, I don't have proof, but like,
That was 13 might be into that.
yes. Yeah, I agree. I think that 4 is really important. And for me, you might not know this in yourself if you grew up with a song. I did not grow up with any songs. And I feel like just when you read it, like just the lead up, like there's only one thing I'm asking of you. This is the thing I ask. You know, it kind of reminds me of Esther, right? Asking for Machashverosh. Like she says a lot of like words to like lead into it, and then like boom. So I feel like that is going to be a central pasuk. Yeah, Isaiah.
It strikes from that pasuk. It strikes me as weird that like he's asking from Hashem for a thing that to me sounds like is impossible.
Okay.
Because he like some of his life has already gone by, and maybe he hasn't sat in the house of Hashem during his entire life in the past. So like maybe this is not possible.
Okay, so that is a question, I guess, also contextually, which is when is he
Making this.
when is this happening, right? So for example, and I never know where he gets this stuff. Sforno likes to locate this within David's life, and this he says is when he was running away from Shaul, and like he just does a bunch of like this puzzle was referring to Avner, and this puzzle was referring to Ziklag, and this, you know, like just I just don't know where he gets it from. But if he's right, then that's like very early on in his life. But yeah, who knows?
It's also
Yeah.
practically impossible to always sit in the house.
Right. Okay, yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't ask for it, right? Like, Tamar?
I'm just noticing also that this pasuk doesn't sound like it's referencing enemies, but it is right in the middle of all the enemy stuff.
Yes. Okay, good.
I
That's
think
what
interesting.
it's the request is incongruous, seemingly, right? Because in a puzzle or in a perek that focuses on enemies so much, you would expect him to ask about like defeating his enemies, you know. And if he asked for this, alongside that, then we wouldn't really like think this is a big deal. But he's saying, I'm only asking for one thing, you know.
It seems like a Hanukkah thing, right? It's like the rested, and like that was like, you know, when everything was over, like you get past the enemies and then you can sit and rest.
Okay, right. I think that is definitely a good
But another
direction for intuition.
2 questions really. One, is that really one thing in this pasuk specifically? He said
Yeah.
one thing and he lists, I believe, what is that, 3?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, we have to. The question is, what is the one thing he's asking for? Oh, you know what? Let me. I keep on forgetting to write this down. What is the one thing he's asking for? Is it one thing? How does this fit in with the rest of the perek?
And then just on perek as a whole, like I was reading through it. It seems like it flip flops back and forth. There's no like clear, at least from like a first thought. I don't see like a very clear
Pivot.
Pivot, yeah.
Okay.
It seems to just like kind of just go back and forth and back and forth.
Okay, I hear that. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go Dina and then clockwise. Yeah, Dina.
So I was actually gonna ask, who are the evildoers who are like eating the flesh?
Yeah.
And like
Well,
how
didn't we
could
say
they-
zombies?
Yeah, zombie. Yeah, I heard zombies. I was actually thinking maybe like more like ghosts or maybe anxiety. Maybe it's a metaphor for like anxiety. I don't know.
Okay,
But
yeah.
maybe I heard some, like you guys talking about the pivot point. Maybe
Yeah.
there's 2 pivot points here. I don't.
Ooh,
I
okay,
mean, I
hold on a
don't know.
second. Hold on to the pivot point thing. I'll call on you first when we try to find the pivot point. I want to wait till we just get like observations on the table. Okay. Okay. Especially who are approaching him to consume his flesh. Yeah, Kiva.
Besides for not seeming like one request, Pasuk test, it almost turns into like pleading.
Yes.
Instead of a
okay, right.
request. He's like repeating over and over.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the other requests in the perek, like 9, and I feel like there's a 9,
12.
Like it gets really intense.
10,
11.
11, 12. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. Okay.
That was my question. There's a bunch of other requests.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, David.
Yeah. This in contradistinction to other means that we've done, that this seems like there is no direct what is he looking for here. I know like we're kind of like saying it already, but I just want to say it in contrast to everything else where other ones have had clear in mind what David is looking for, and here it's just not clear what he's looking for.
Well, I mean, linguistically or not linguistically, like in terms of the words, 4 is he saying this is the one thing I'm looking for, right? Now we run to the avalanche of other requests, but like I think this actually is written in a way where he is drawing your eye to the unity. This is going to be the unity through this somehow, right? So
okay.
Yeah, and we have to understand it, but I think this is the thing he's asking for. Yeah,
he kind of like in 1 through 3, he builds up this like whole thing of like, I am scared of nothing, God is with me and all this. And then like the requests, like at least like 12 is like talking about like, don't give, it seems like he's afraid of these tormentors. Like,
yeah.
He built up this whole like persona of sorts of like he's not afraid, and then it seems like he's afraid.
So we have a name for this, and I feel like this is going to be one of these things where like it's going to become, maybe this is already like not okay to say. I'm going to say it because we don't have a better word for this. I don't mean to degrade anyone when I say this. This does feel schizophrenic, right? It's like different mindsets all over the place. So he is. So let's say this feels
bipolar.
No. I mean, you could say bipolar if you want, but schizophrenic is the way people. I bet Merriam-Webster. Hold on. I bet they have this as an idiom. Schizophrenic. Yeah, here we go. In a general use, a mentality or approach characterized by inconsistent or contradictory elements. That's the sense in which I mean it. I don't mean the DSM-5. So he switches between confidence in Hashem's salvation and fear of abandonment. Right? Is that what you meant by the yeah? Can I see the altar for a second? I think Alter also noticed this. He said he didn't raise it as a question really. He says. Yeah, he says this psalm is a supplication in which, as elsewhere, a speaker in great distress implores God to intervene on his behalf. The distinction of emphasis is that the poem begins with a confident affirmation of God as the source of help under all grave threats. This positive note is continued through verses 2 and 3, 5 and 6, and most extravagantly in verse 10. But this sense of trust in a psalm that manifests powerful psychological verisimilitude does not preclude a feeling of fearful urgency in the speaker's plea to God. See verses 9 and 13. Okay. Yeah, Yaakov? Oh, there's a question. Okay, Isaiah?
So I know we're worried about the Pasuk 4 versus the rest of the perek.
Yeah.
But it says one thing I have asked from Hashem.
Yeah.
Logically, that could just be one thing that he asked from Hashem, not the only thing that he asked from Hashem.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing though. So I think I'm just gonna spoil this just a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't want you to look. Don't look at them far too yet. So some say that Achash Adam Hashem, if you just read that, you would think what you're saying, which is I asked for one thing. Osah avakesh means that's the only thing I'm asking for. So yeah, you don't have to learn it that way, but that's how they do it. Yeah, Dina?
So I agree with the schizophrenic thing, for sure, because it's definitely all over the place. But like, I feel like it's more of like an anxious thing. Because
Yeah.
it also mentions that his father and his mother have forsaken him, and that Hashem will let him into his tent. So like his father and mother have like given up on him, which may not be actually true, but he's also seeking comfort in
Right.
Hashem's tent. So I feel like he's also having like a nervous breakdown because of how all over the place this pasuk is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it could be anxiousness or desperation due to the direness of his circumstances. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I guess just in general, like what kind of assistance is he looking for? Like, is he trying to be taught new ideas? Does he want like practical help from Hashem?
Yeah.
It's not.
Is
not
this
so clear.
just instruction?
Does he just want to
Like in 4 and 11, right? That makes it sound like just learning. Or is this protection, right, from his enemies, which is like the one about the 5 and 6, right? 5, 6, 12. Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Akiva.
I would say for pasuk, or that you could say that it's like the main point, like that's what he's asking for, and the other things that he asks after are just necessary, but then not really, because then why does he have to ask them if that's his request? So
Yeah.
other things will happen.
So I think
So why is he asking?
the easiest answer to that is like, it is a thing that we do in Tefilah where like we do spell out in particular, so I think that's the most like surefire way to take that as an answer, is to make that observation as an answer. Oren. Yeah, Oren.
What is pasuk 13 talking about?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump the gun here just for because this is an idiom that I think is important to know for the pshat. Anyone know what the Eretz Chaim is? Eretz Chaim, Olam Haba, right? So Eretz Chaim is either Olam Haba, or some say, if you had to guess, another Eretz Chaim, Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. Okay, so those are the two things that I assume it's Olam Haba, and most of the Mepharshim say it's Olam Haba. Yeah.
But even still, it's like it trails off. If not for the fact, blah blah blah, then what?
Yeah, so yeah, I think you weren't here when we said that, is that this is a style in biblical Hebrew where it'll have a statement that starts with if, and it's alluding to a bad consequence that it's like so horrible that he doesn't want to say.
What is it then?
What?
What is it then?
Then he would be totally destroyed, he'd be lost, he would be, enemies would defeat him. Yeah.
What could not happen?
Yeah.
Did you have a question, Anthony?
No, that was it.
Tomorrow?
Oh,
No, sorry.
A question on 3. I don't remember how it looks in Hebrew, but what is he trusting in?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. So that's a good question. Also. Okay. So on 3, what is he trusting in? Bezos ani boteach. Oh, so I'll give you a couple options here. No, I only remember one option. Some of the Mepharshim say, I forgot who, he's trusting in Hashem Ori Vishi. Hashem Oschaya Mimi Echad. That God is my light, my salvation, etc. Yeah, I think that's plain shot. Yeah, David.
Is this a Tefilah or a Tahanim? Because in pasuk Zayin it does say Hanini Hanini, and other parts it sounded like he was going more into like a Tefilah type of thing. But I mean, I was going to ask, assuming this is Tefilah, like, is there a basis to be helping David out here to be answered?
Yeah.
But then he does say Hani Vani, which does sound to me like it's a Tahanim.
Good question. I'm going to put that down, and I don't know. I don't know at this point. I'm going to try to say the way that I think you mean the difference is. So Tefilah is like when you are standing before God as a nivra, like as a creation, and like saying like, not that I deserve this, because we don't really deserve anything in the sense, but like, well, here's a good example. Like if God created a creature and then didn't give it a means of sustenance, then that's kind of on God, right? So it would have the right to ask for sustenance because it was given life, so it should be allowed, given the means to continue it. Tachnunim is matnas chinam, is asking for something that you don't deserve. And that's in Tefilah, what we do is when we stand before God and ask him this stuff, it's more of a like, we are your creations that you gave us certain needs. And like, you're the only one who can provide them. So we're standing before you like an Eved before his master saying like, we're dependent on you and you should, we want you to supply our needs. Tachanun means we're throwing ourselves at the mercy of the judge. Like we don't deserve anything. And we're not deserving of this stuff, and please give it to us. Is that what you meant, Ish? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fine.
3 questions.
Okay.
2 on 9. Why would Hashem turn away in wrath to David? Like,
Oh, that's a good question also. So this is on 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then secondly on 9, when he says you were my help, does that mean he's no longer his help? And like, is that talking about a specific instance?
Hold on just 1 second. Yeah, I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh
Say again?
yeah. And then also when he says you were my help, does that mean he's no longer, or in this moment he's
Okay.
not his help? And
Yeah.
is that talking about a specific instance? Or
Okay,
that
good.
was
Yeah,
like
which
a
was
statement?
that in the
It's also
same?
in 9, yeah,
No, okay, yeah. In 9, I don't know why I'm saying on. In 9, oh, because it's a question on 9. Yeah, on 9. When he says, "You were my help," is that what he said? Yeah, you were my help. When is he referring to? Is this a specific instance?
And then I think on 11 was my next question.
See, we were falling into the trap that I said we shouldn't fall into.
Oh.
Of getting involved. No, I asked for it, which
Okay.
was to ask particular questions and stuff. But
Okay.
we're half falling into the trap.
Okay.
Let me put it this way: we should totally ask these questions. I still want to avoid the trap of, after getting the main idea, going through every single puzzle to try to answer every single question. I
Okay.
just don't think that's going to be the best use of our time.
Then just one more question on
Yeah.
11 then. When he says for the sake of my adversaries, like,
That
that
needs to be
What
explained,
does that
right?
mean?
Yeah. On 11, what does "for the sake of my adversaries" mean? Yali?
There's a question on 14.
Yeah.
When it says,
Hope to
in
Hashem.
your heart, is that capital Y, like are we talking to God, or is it like?
No, so either in 14 he's talking to himself and telling himself, like self-talk, like to embolden his own heart, or he's talking to us, to the reader.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, Isaiah?
When we translated 11, we said it says Laman shiur, right? Could it be on account of my adversaries?
Yes, it could be on account of my adversaries. That's actually the easiest way. I think, yeah, one other thing the Meiri says that for the sake of my adversaries, for the sake of, or on account of. Yeah, Laman, though, the problem though is Laman usually means for the sake of, but I think that's a good way out. Okay, let's do this. Let's try to figure out the pivot point if there is one. And I told Dina that she could be first for her theory. And then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, Dina, what do you think the pivot point is?
So I definitely think that it could be number 4, because it goes from like, the evildoers and like Hashem is my salvation and like my stronghold. But I also think that it could possibly be, hold on, maybe number 6 as well, because it goes back to like the enemy thing.
Yeah. Okay, so when you say 4, you mean like the first half is talking basically about Hashem's protection and doing like the good stuff, and then 5. Wait, no, 5 is also part of that, right? Wait.
Right, 5 is part of the I think 5 is part of number 4.
Yeah.
And then from 6 on, it's back to like the paranoia and the enemies.
Wait,
and
6 is also part of that, though, isn't it? He will raise my head over my enemies. And
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Okay, and it's 7. So I think so. Loosely speaking, then it seems like this is a possible division here, right? Like it's not exact.
It's like half and half.
Yeah, but like the first half is largely positive, light salvation, conceals me, happy victory at the end, and then the 7 is like desperation. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, got it. Yeah, Ellie.
Well, I would have thought that the 8th pasuk is kind of where it pivots. Like it goes from in rejoicing over God and asking God, making requests, to fearing God's abandonment.
Okay, I can see that also. Yeah,
Like,
part of why I don't know also is 8 is just such a hard thing to like figure out what it's saying.
But that seems to be like the in between part.
Okay, yeah, Kiva.
Not really a pivot point, but 14 seems like a concluding statement.
Yes.
Separate from the rest.
Yeah, I would agree with that also. It's like the takeaway. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just said that without thinking that I think that actually is going to be where the answer to our 4th question is what of it, that this is getting us to have hope in Hashem, you know, and that's also a weird thing. We talk about trust in Hashem a lot. Hope to Hashem is a weird weird one. I feel like I haven't like examined that topic.
Especially if it's hoping going along with Hazaki Amates.
Yeah.
Those seem Hazaki Amates don't seem to go along with like a hoping, which is
right. Yeah, is the right. Sounds like you have to strengthen yourself in order to hope, though, right? Yeah, or something. Yeah, Oren.
An alternate pivot point, but I'm not sure. Is 1, 2, 3 is one, and then everything else is another. Because the first 3 psukim are like everything's good, basically.
Yeah.
And then everything after that is like things are not good. I need stuff.
Okay, I hear that, but I'm having a hard time though seeing the difference between 5, for example, and like 2. Because 5 and 2 both talk about like enemies coming and then Hashem like intervening. Yeah, fine.
I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
It seems like the first 3 are talking about like a state that he has been in.
Yeah.
And like maybe even the past, and then 4 through the rest is talking more about a future, like Bakasha. Meaning he's talking about like who will I fear? Hashem is my stronghold, right? Who should I be afraid of? The evildoers, they stumble, right?
Yeah.
If I can't respond to that, I'm not fair because I trust in God. And then it goes into like Bakasha for like the rest of it.
Okay, so that is another way to divide it, which might not also be what do you call? This is going to be more of like what I call like the Venetian blinds thing instead of a clean pivot, where you have like 2 themes that are like interwoven, where statements of fact about like Hashem's relationship to him, and then Bakasha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe like more than just Bakasha, but also like in 6, where you're saying, and now he will raise up my head. So it's more like it's definitely future talk versus past talk.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you guys a question here. Okay, which is, do you want us to make a big move now and then let that be something that is on your mind and then come and bring it home next time, or do you want to think about this? You want to think? You got one thing?
I'm also leaning on thing.
Leaning on think?
I'm down for a big move.
You're down for a big move, okay.
Big move. Yeah.
Think.
You said think. I thought you said big
I
move.
gotta use my brain.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you one more question. Here, I'll compromise. Okay. And this is going to sound like the worst hint ever. Okay. But because I feel like this is territory that we've trodden over. Okay. Which is whenever you have, I feel like this is a common genre of Tehilim of David like talking about how much Hashem protects him. And whenever I read that, I'm like, what about me? Right? Like I understand David HaMelech is like on this level to get like this high level of hashgacha, right? But what am I supposed to like when my enemies like are around me? Like, you know, like is Hashem really just gonna like conceal me or like lift me up and on a rock and protect me, you know? So depending on how you answer that question, I think you'll have to learn the themes and ideas of the of the perek differently. Okay. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right.
What?
I know the from answer to the question.
Yeah. Kaveh Hashem Chazak V'emes Libach V'Kaveh Hashem. Is that the from answer?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. So we have our work cut out for us. And again, the good news is that theoretically we're saying this, a lot between 14 times between now and next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, you say on Shabbos?
I think we say on Shabbos. Yeah, we say on Shabbos. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting. But,
Yeah. That's another question. Oh, sorry. This is like why is the minhag to say this, right?
Oh yeah.
To say this between Rosh, Chodesh, Elul, and Shemini Atzeres, right? Or is it Shemini Atzeres? Yeah. Right.
Oh.
Like what's the connection? I mean, I didn't see any Shemini Atzeres. You don't see tshuva stuff in here, right? Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So I think there is I do think that it also says sukkah, right? And we does it say exactly. Does it say kapara anywhere?
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Oh, but also toaster. Oh, pouring.
Yeah, right. No, I do think people give answers like that, but I feel like
Have you a possibility now?
for the why we say it.
Yeah. I have a say.
Yeah, sure, fine. Why not?
Okay, so the 13th possible, right? 13 talks about had I not put my trust in the year of wisdom God and Olam Haba, right?
Yeah.
And, the whole like this whole time period is about like not Olam Haba things. And like this is a path to the Olam Haba thing, which is what we're supposed to be. Well, not supposed to be focusing on Olam Haba, obviously, but like the path which leads to that, which is what he seems to be talking about.
Okay, I mean that's not a bad answer, but it's also not. It's okay. Here's the. Okay, this helps me define the question more. Okay, I'll add to the question. Why is this the minhag to say between Rosh Chodesh, Elul, and Shemini Atzeres? And can we give answers that don't involve a huge stretch? Okay, right? Like I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. Like like I can also say like this is about trust in Hashem and like like this strengthens our trust in Hashem. Yeah. Like in other words, I'm looking for an answer that is like like this is like this makes sense to say like during this time. Like when you say, for example, B'tzeis Yisrael Mitzrayim at the Seder, you're like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I would like it more on that end of the spectrum. Yeah, Isaiah?
I would have thought, like, if you asked me why do we say this perek and I never read the perek before, then I would have said, oh, it's because it's about Shuvah. Because obviously during this time, you're going to say a perek.
Oh, correct. Yeah. If you've never seen what perek we have, I'd say correct. And there are a lot of talking about Shuvah, by the way, right?
That are more about Shuvah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's think about it between now and next time. And I am confident that because of Hashem's help, that I think we'll try to wrap it up next time. Okay. Yeah. All righty. Which there's 51. I think. I have to look at it again. All right. Good night, guys.